On News Central, Joe Biden speaks in Bay City, Michigan.
An update on the Oxford shooter's parents' trial.
And CMU Starbucks has some updates, all that coming up on News Central. Live from Central Michigan University, News Central starts now.
Good evening and welcome to News Central. I'm Kylie Shapansky.
And I'm Rachel Ramsey. President Biden spoke today in Bay City, Michigan at manufacturer SK Siltron CSS. News Central reporter Lauren Consdorf was there for the president's arrival. Take a look.
I am standing here at AV Flight Saginaw in Freeland, Michigan, where the United States' 46th President Joe Biden's flight has just landed, where he will be traveling to Bay City to talk about the progress that has been made in the last 2 years of his presidency. Traveling with President Biden today is Representative Dan Kildee from the 5th Congressional District and Alyssa Slotkin from the 8th Congressional District. After being elected back in 2021, President Biden is here today to express the ways he has built the economy from the bottom up and the middle out. This has been Lauren Consdorf from News Central.
Thank you, Lauren.
Now we go to News Central reporter Rachel Rademacher, who was at SK Siltron CSS when President Biden spoke.
President Biden just finished up his speech here in Bay City, Michigan, where he addressed many different things, including manufacturing, building the economy here in America. He addressed the falling gas prices and what the jobs look for like in the future here in America. He talks about the importance of the union workers and how much they contribute to the economy here in America and just building that. We also heard from Gretchen Whitmer, where she also addressed different things and different goals they're working on as we head into the next few years and kind of coming out of COVID. They talked about building the roads and again, just seeing those gas prices fall. But most importantly, they talked about the importance of building the jobs and just seeing that grow for more Americans to be able to have steady jobs, to be able to be with their family, provide for their family, and of course, falling gas prices will be a part of that. Here in Bay City, I'm Rachel Rademacher for News Central.
Thank you, Rachel.
Election results in Michigan have been certified by the Board of State Canvassers. The bipartisan board cast a unanimous 4-0 vote last night, taking the next step in finalizing the November elections. Many civilian attendees of this meeting were unhappy with the heavily Democratic outcome of the election and called for the meeting of the Board of State Canvassers to be delayed. However, board member Mary Ellen Gerwitz told Michigan Radio, quote, "There's no reason not to do it today, but it is important in order for the people who have won elections to take office. We don't have any investigatory powers, so there's nothing to delay," end quote. Certification allows for those who are dissatisfied with election results to then file for recounts and lawsuits that can be resolved before terms begin in January.
Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of the fatal shooting at Oxford High School here in Michigan. The shooting took the lives of 4 high school students. Governor Gretchen Whitmer is ordering U.S. and Michigan flags to be lowered to half-staff within the state capitol complex and upon all public buildings and grounds across the state of Michigan. This is in effect for tomorrow, Wednesday, November 30th, to honor victims of the shooting. Whitmer said, quote, "1 year later, we honor the memories of Hannah, Tate, Madison, and Justin, and reaffirm our commitment to holding the Oxford community close. Words will never be enough to meet the scale of the loss that this town has been through, but all of Michigan sends its love, its prayers, and its commitment to working together to keep all of our families and communities safe."
This comes after the announcement of the Oxford shooter's parents' trial, which has been delayed by the Michigan Supreme Court. Jennifer and James Crumbly will no longer be tried in January of next year on involuntary manslaughter charges in connection to last year's deadly mass shooting at Oxford High School. Prosecutors say the Crumbleys disregarded signs that their son was a threat and gave him easy access to a gun. Ethan would go on to kill 4 classmates and injure half a dozen others. The couple is fighting the charges. The state Supreme Court has sent their cases to the Court of Appeals, where they will consider if there is enough evidence for the charges to stand. The trial will remain halted until the appeal's completion.
As the 1-year anniversary of the Oxford school shooting nears, tensions continue amongst the community members and the school administration. Andreas Gutierrez has more on the story.
A year later, we are frozen in time.
Former Oxford school president Tom Donnelly and former treasurer Corey Bailey believe administrators aren't being forthcoming with parents about the district's inaction leading up to the shooting that took the lives of 4 students and injured 7 others.
This board had been told over and over that the school had all the policies in place and that our team did everything right, but a bad thing still happened. If that were true, how could the shooting have happened?
This is the threat assessment policy that both men say has been in place in the district for 18 years. It's a guide developed by the U.S. Secret Service on how to identify and prevent school violence.
The district certainly didn't use it as designed in the months leading up to the shooting. There's no evidence that we've ever used it as it is designed.
Donnelly and Bailey resigned from the board in September, frustrated with the lack of transparency and so-called stonewalling.
I want to be clear, the board is made up of good people who wanted to do the right thing, but they were convinced by voices outside of our district that they needed to wait, and that coming forward would only bankrupt the district and potentially tear this community apart.
The Oxford School District has turned down several offers from the Michigan Attorney General to look into their actions. Instead, they're paying a consulting firm and a law firm to do so.
The issue with our understanding of why we were pushing the third-party review out, and we thought we were doing the prosecutor a favor. We thought we were doing the right thing. We were told that's what the prosecutor wanted us to do, and we were doing that, only to find out 2.5 months later that's not what they wanted at all.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel said in a series of tweets the allegations aren't surprising. Her department is working with the legislator to possibly change the law, which would give her agency the authority to investigate school districts where evidence suggests students were not properly protected from these tragedies.
Why ask? Why not just come in and say, guys, we're taking over. We're the experts. We have the experts. We're going to tell you where you failed.
In Oxford, I'm Andres Gutierrez.
There will be a candlelit vigil tomorrow at 7 in Oxford, as well as an observing a 4-minute moment of silence at 12:51 to honor the students lost in the tragedy.
Michigan State University continues to suffer the consequences following the University of Michigan tunnel incident. The Big Ten Conference yesterday issued a $100,000 fine against MSU. The incident taking place on October 29th involved 7 Michigan State football players clashing with 2 University of Michigan players. Amongst the scuffle, a University of Michigan student sustained injuries from a football helmet. Additionally, Spartans corner backup Carrie Crump received an 8-game suspension starting in the 2023 season and was arraigned this morning on a felony assault with a dangerous weapon charge. Crump's lawyer, Mike Nichols, released a statement on their next steps.
Remember, anytime there's an assault where it's a fight that's involved, self-defense is always in play. And all we're going to do is prepare for trial, look at the discovery, and go from there.
The remaining 6 players all face misdemeanor charges for the assault.
It's official here on campus. The University Center Starbucks is now accepting the Starbucks app rewards. Last Monday, the Starbucks on campus updated their systems and are no longer accepting flex dollars, but will now be accepting rewards at checkout. They will no longer be accepting flex dollars in person due to Starbucks updating their technology, making it no longer compatible with Central's technology, but you can still use your flex dollars when making mobile orders.
The student organization Black Males Rock has declared this week to be Black Males Rock Week, Soul Train Edition. Today, Black Males Rock is organizing a Black group healing circle in the Student Center for Diversity and Inclusion from 6 to 8 p.m. Tomorrow, Black Males Rock presents a 7-on-7 football tournament in the indoor athletic complex at 6:30 p.m. Thursday evening from 6 to 8 p.m., Black Males Rock will shoot some hoops against CMU students at the Student Activity Center's basketball court. To end the week with a big bash, Black Males Rock is hosting a party in Powers Hall ballroom, and cocktails will be served at approximately 5:30 p.m. To learn more about Black Males Rock Week, follow their RSO on Instagram at Black Males Rock CMU. Okay. Do we even live in Michigan? The weather here is all over the place.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm not sure where the snow went. Are we gonna have any back?
Yeah, we are tracking some precipitation overnight, and I'll let you know how it will be impacting tomorrow, so stick around.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. Basically, he had to relearn everything. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
My name is Mara Peverini, and I'm a news producer and news stand in Lansing. I'm a 2020 graduate for the BCA graduate program. I was looking for something that could give me like the set of skills that I was looking for in order to work like into a television industry. When I ran into the BCA one, like they just have like this very detailed list of classes on their website, and I just thought that there was literally an opportunity for like every type of career. I think I owe a lot to like News Central, just the experience that was News Central. I was like the graduate assistant, just teamwork and just like the sense of community that I created like with students, just in-person experience. Okay, go in front of the camera, do this, you need to go in the control room, do that. So even just that, it's like something different than just like reading a book.
Welcome back, everyone. Taking a look at our campus cam. It's pretty cloudy outside right now. There's a little patchy blue skies here and there if you look up at the skies. Temperatures are at 47 degrees Fahrenheit with a dew point of 42. That makes sense because the air is pretty dry right now. Winds are moving from the southeast at 9 miles per hour with wind gusts at 16 miles per hour. Now taking a look at our sky tracker. So it's pretty cloudy across the state right now. It looks like it's going to be clearing up for a little bit, and we are expecting some rain showers overnight. Now taking a look at our winds. So over in Mount Pleasant, it is 17 miles per hour. Up in Clare, 15, and it's a little bit breezy on the western part of the state. So in Ludington and in Muskegon, it is actually at 19 miles per hour. And now taking a look at our temperatures across the state. So in Mount Pleasant, it's 48 degrees, up in Gaylord, 43, down in Port Huron, 47, and then moving down to Grand Rapids is actually 54 degrees. So a little bit warmer down there. We're actually going to be seeing some warmer temperatures come up towards us overnight, and then those temperatures are actually going to drop pretty drastically into the morning. Now taking a look at our local temperatures. In Ithaca, it is 50 degrees, North Star 50, and Breckenridge 50. Up in Wise, 48, Rosebush 48, Mount Pleasant 48. And then moving up to Lake George 46, Hayes 46, and then in Clare 48. Now taking a look at our temperatures versus wind chill chart. So overnight, wind chills and temperatures are going to be very similar, but into tomorrow morning, we're going to be seeing those wind chill temperatures drop. And that is because it is going to be very breezy tomorrow. So as of 7 a.m., wind chill temperatures are going to be down to 21. At 9 a.m., 17. At 11 a.m., it's going to kind of go back up to 19. So if I were you, I'd be prepared. Bring a coat, jacket, hats, gloves, maybe scarves as well, because it's going to be pretty chilly because of those winds. Now for our evening planner. 6 p.m. it's going to be 48 degrees and cloudy, 9 p.m. 50 and cloudy, and then as of midnight, temperatures are going to rise to 52, and we're going to be seeing some of that rain that I talked about during the sky tracker. Now for our bus stop cast. So when we drop off our kids for school, it's going to be 30 degrees with some light snow. It's also going to be breezy, so make sure you wear those jackets. And then when you pick up your kids, it's going to be 29 degrees and breezy with some more light snow. So taking it back to Rachel and Kylie.
Thank you, Megan. Mauna Loa is the world's largest active volcano, and it's erupting in Hawaii for the first time in almost 40 years. Lava around 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit is flowing on Hawaii's biggest island, where just over 200,000 people live. Scientists say that lava is flowing into the northeast rift zone, but that it will likely stop before reaching the large town below it. Hawaii's Emergency Management Agency says it has activated its operations center. A state official says the National Guard is on standby and the state health department is monitoring air quality.
The World Cup has proven deadly, as organizer Hassan Al-Thawadi revealed over 400 migrant deaths took place in preparation for the tournament. Al-Thawadi says Qatar has been making improvements to their labor laws once they won the bid on hosting the World Cup in 2010. Since then, Qatar built 7 new stadiums, new hotels, and expanded the country's airport, train systems, and highways. However, migrant laborers faced delayed or unpaid wages, forced labor, heat exposure, and employer intimidation while working on these World Cup accommodations. In November 2022 alone, 3 work-related deaths and 37 non-work-related deaths occurred on stadiums.
The Chinese government continues to put down protest amongst its COVID-19 policies. Chris Nagoyan has the latest.
For the first time in decades, thousands of people have defied Chinese authorities, protesting at universities and on the streets of major cities, demanding freedom from the government's COVID lockdowns, as well as strict censorship. A rare show of dissent against the Communist Party's tightening grip over all aspects of life. Protesters in Hong Kong expressing their support for those on the mainland.
I think everyone who has a sane mind should say something or do something to stop this unreasonable social measure.
CNN has verified at least 20 protests have erupted in recent days across 15 cities on the mainland, including in Beijing and Shanghai. Demonstrators holding up sheets of white paper, symbolizing the critical social media posts and news articles that have been wiped from the internet. China's vast security apparatus moving quickly to prevent additional protests with heavy police surveillance. The Chinese economy continuing to take a hit.
They're still dealing with COVID the way we were dealing with it in 2020 in the spring, which is your choice is to shut down. And that is very disruptive to the supply chain, the internal economy.
The White House treading carefully, even as it tries to mend relations with Beijing.
People should be allowed the right to assemble and to peacefully protest policies or laws or dictates that they take issue with.
In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
Security officials in China continue to monitor civilians' mobile devices to prevent any evasion from censorship.
Take caution when scrolling through Twitter's health information, as the platform is no longer enforcing their COVID-19 misinformation policy. During 2020, the social media platforms put restrictions on
It's good to
spreading
see what I look like when I
misinformation related to the coronavirus. This included banning thousands of accounts over the past 2 years that violated these terms. A pop-up would also appear on tweets that relayed any information about COVID-19. This change to Twitter's guidelines was not made very public. It was only announced on a note on Twitter's website. Besides the food, sports is usually what's being talked about after the holidays.
Yeah, Tim, what's going on in the world of sports?
Well, Rachel, Kylie, sports this past weekend was about as sweet as the yams I had for Thanksgiving break. More on CMU football and more sports after this break.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
Watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other,
On a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward,
Come together.
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How was it? Is it good?
You know, you develop your work ethic while you're coming up through college, right? There are so many different ways to get involved at Central. As a graduate from the BCA program, I would describe my fellow graduates, and hopefully myself, as extremely professional and knowledgeable, and at least go-getters. You know, there are always things you don't know in the field or you need to learn along the way, but graduates of CMU are quick learners, and if they're coming out and graduating that class, you better be sure that they are at least willing to get their hands dirty and learn once they hit the field. The day-to-day of my job is never the same. Because every project that we have coming into the studio is always different. I could be in the field on location for a shoot. I could be in studio working on the green screen behind me. I'll be in our edit bay, which is just off camera this way. It's cool to say that I still work in that field after focusing on that in school. I'm Cody Stauber, and I'm a graduate of the School of Broadcast and Cinematic Arts at Central Michigan University.
Good afternoon, everyone. Timothy Short Jr. here, your Short Sports anchor. And as always, I'm super excited to go over all that happened in the sports world in the Mitten State. Last Friday, the Central Michigan football team geared up for their season finale at Ypsilanti foe Eastern Michigan Eagles. The Chippewas were going into this game with a record of 4-7, while the Eagles boasted a record flipped 7-4. CMU was heading into this game hoping to end an already disappointing season with a positive. EMU had other plans. Eastern Michigan broke open what was a rather tight game with 3 second-half touchdowns in front of the 14,000 that they had at their very own Rynearson Stadium. The Chippewas threw 3 interceptions and surrendered 437 total yards of offense. CMU entered the game with the worst turnover margin among all 131 football bowl subdivision teams. The Chippewas pass game produced only 68 yards, and CMU could not slow down an aggressive EMU run game that became increasingly stronger throughout the game. EMU scored 38 points on CMU's defense, putting the Chippewas season to an unfortunate end, 38-19. The ending the Chippewas season with a 4-8 record, 3-5 in the MAC division. After taking the MAC tournament opener against Toledo, the CMU volleyball team geared up to face the top-seeded Ball State Cardinals in the tournament semifinal last week Monday. The Chippewas won the first set by a score of 23-25, but then dropped the next 3 sets to the Cardinals by scores of 18-25, 23-25, 25 and 22-25. The loss dropped CMU to a 20-11 record, including being 12-6 in matches. This marked being the second time since 2007 that Chippewas won as many as 20 matches, and their 12 league victories was a high water mark in head coach Mike Golick's 7 years at the head of the volleyball program. Earlier today, the National Invitational Volleyball Championship announced that CMU is set to play on Thursday at Ohio's Convocation Center. The Chippewas are scheduled to play against 19-11 Xavier at 5 p.m. for Game 1 of the 32-team single elimination tournament. CMU made its only other appearance in the NIVC in 2019, falling in the first round at South Dakota. On Sunday, the Detroit Pistons lost a heartbreaker to the Cleveland Cavaliers by a score of 102-94 at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. With a Cadeless starting five due to a shin injury, the Pistons starting five consisted of Killian Hayes, Rodney Magruder, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Livers, and Marvin Bagley. Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley having strong performances. A starless Detroit team was unable to battle, but not match the star firepower that Cleveland had coming into this matchup. With a rather close game up until the fourth quarter, the Pistons have a lot to polish up before their matchup tonight against the New York Knicks. Tip-off is scheduled 7 p.m. at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Kylie, is Mid-Michigan getting to the holiday spirit?
That's right, Tim, they are. With the holiday season among us, Mount Pleasant has many Christmas events planned. On December 2nd, downtown Mount Pleasant will be holding the Sounds of the Season music and dance spectacular at Max and Emily's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Along with this, hay rides, a winter market, reindeer, and a candy cane lane will be available. On December 3rd, starting at 8 a.m., the Jingle All the Way Kids Fun Run will begin at Max and Emily's. The same day, Sacred Heart Parish Hall will have pancakes with Santa. These are just a few of the events Mount Pleasant is holding this holiday season. To get information about the events, go to mtpleasant.org. Now we're going to go to WR with our last look at weather.
Welcome back, Mid-Michigan. You join me at our News Central Sky Tracker, looking ahead later this evening tonight. Tonight we're expecting rain and snow showers to move through, and this will give way to lake effect snow showers all day tomorrow. It's going to be really cold and windy and even some snow. So you're going to want to bundle up and wear a hat if you're outside tomorrow, because it's really not going to be a nice one. After that, we'll end up in an area of a bit of a break. That is until around Saturday, when we're expecting our next system to come in, and this will bring another round of rain and snow showers. And then after that, that'll clear out, giving the rest of the weekend pretty nice. But we are keeping a look at further south, another system that could impact central Michigan at the start of next work week. Like I mentioned before, those temperatures are going to drop, and that all starts with this cold front that's going to push through on tomorrow, and that's really going to keep our temperatures very cold, only reaching around the mid-20s for the rest of the day, and they will only reach up above freezing by Thursday, so it's really going to be a cold one tomorrow. It's going to be super windy, and our trash can meter suggests that our trash can might end up all the way down in the neighbor's yard tomorrow. So if you have any loose objects around the house, be sure to tie those down or bring them into the garage, or they might end up in the neighbor's yard tomorrow. Taking a look at our extended forecast for the rest of the week. Tomorrow is going to be very windy, only reaching a temperature of 36 degrees, and I suspect that'll be the high. It'll be colder than that. Then Thursday and Friday, it'll be a little bit calm before that system comes on Saturday, where we'll have a 70% chance of rain and snow, and then after that, just more general chances of precipitation as we start our work week next week. So really, tomorrow's going to be our main day. We're really going to want to bundle up and wear a hat for that. And other than that, we should be looking at some calmer weather. It won't be nice, but it'll be calm after.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Anyone looking forward to some more wintry weather?
Not at all.
I never know what to expect these days, so I'm very appreciative of you, WR.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
For real.
Definitely.
That is all the time that we have for tonight for the last News Central of the semester. I'm Rachel Ramsey.
And I'm Kylie Shapansky. Make sure to follow us on all of our social medias, and have a great night.